Thank you, sir. Please. Thank you so much, everybody. Program a success and bless our students. We have Dr. Vireshananda Saraswati as our chief guest. Now I request our worthy chairman, Dr. Vijaypal Reddy, to give a floral welcome to Swamiji. Our dearest chairman, Dr. Vijaypal Reddy, to our management program, Abbs-Bizomania 2012. Professor Mani, to welcome Dean Academics, Dr. D.M. Maheshi, to Abbs-Bizomania 2012. And all the guests and all faculty and all students from different colleges. And now I request Dr. Acharya Venkatesh to give the welcome address. Thank you.
That is a tough job. When we thought of Abbs-Bizomania 3rd edition, Abbs-Bizomania 2012, we were contemplating on different corporate icons. We thought a man who is blend of spirituality and science, a man who is blend of old and new, a man who addresses Institute of Chartered Accountants of India on an annual basis, visited world-renowned B-schools, education institutions. That is Swamiji. Swamiji is an electronic engineer, traveled extensively throughout the world. I remember DVG's nice sonnet. He tells, Hasa chiguru hale beru, hale bude dharma, Rushi vakya gade kavi mele se, jasavu jeevana ke mankutimma. I know that many of you must have not understood what I said. It only means this much. Hasa chiguru hale beru kudiradu marasabagu. I mean, to make a beautiful tree, there has to be root and the tender leaflets. I mean, Hasa chiguru hale beru kudiradu marasabagu. Hasa tattva gade bude dharma. I mean, you should have blend of old and new. Rushi vakya gade vijnana kale mela vise jasagu jeevana ke mankutimma. Rushi vakya gade vijnana, management is a science. Rushi vakya gade vijnana kale mela vise jasagu jeevana ke mankutimma. I mean, he says there is profoundly propagates. And if we have made one right choice in this management fest, that is inviting Swamiji to inaugurate this fest. Swamiji, I bow my head in front of you we are all blessed today because I have to tell a piece of my experience with Ramakrishna mission. If there are two books which have extensively influenced me, one is Badukalu Kaliri by Jagannath-Nandaji, another is Devaru by A. N. Murthy. Of course, it looks dichotomy to the people if anybody has read both books because both are of different worlds. One, disappears the non-existence of God. Badukalu Jagannath-Nandaji because it is a classic book, Learn to Live. It has been translated. More than 2 lakh books have been sold. And Swamiji is brought under the tutelage of Jagannath-Nandaji, if I am right. That Swamiji? Yeah. Jagannath-Nandaji is a great icon and he is one of the strongest pillar of Ramakrishna Mat. Sir, Swamiji, it is our honor and we are blessed today and once again I welcome you. So, most important thing is, whenever we have to organize a program here, I understand without the cooperation of the management and without the support of the management, nothing would happen. No stone can be unturned here. Yes, management supports us.
Criticizing or praising?
I am praising. You have to wait for some more time. Management supports us. They support us to the hilt. They support us to the hilt, I mean, see, we want to gallop every time. We want to run every time. We want to, cross all hurdles. But sometimes we get slowed down. That's what people say, the road to success is always under construction. We don't know what is there ahead. Sir, I promise you, you spend money, we sweat. We sweat here, my students sweat here, my colleagues sweat here. You spend money, then only a program can happen. We want to make every program successful. We want to run in every program. We want to take the ABBS brand further. We have done that. What we started in 2008, if we look back in 2012, come on. We have done many programs which many B schools took at least 2 to 3 decades to do this number of programs. But sometimes we run slow, but I promise you, we never run backward. We may go slow, but we run fast.
You said I spent is okay, but I said you spend this.
No, for the money you spend, I will not make it this way. But we said here, right? And anything, yeah, that is nice, I understand what is there in that. And my audience also understand that. But we never allow, that is why I said we never run backward. Right? We run forward, we may run slow. You have to bear with us. And I thank management, I thank my chairman, I profoundly thank them because anything we do here they support and that is why these number of programs are possible. Back to back we have 5-6 programs and many tell that no I have not slept, the other day my colleague was telling I have not slept for 3 days. Yesterday Punita was telling sir every day I get up at 4 o'clock. I don't know. No, it happens. Honestly I tell you it happens. Whenever we coordinate a program.
What Punita?
Yeah, you can look at her eyes, right?
Eating in the staff room, I think.
No, yeah, and we sweat, I promise you we sweat, and we keep the flag of ABBS flying high. And I profoundly thank, Madam is not here, and she knows so much. All of you know, majority of you know at least, but for students from other colleges, she knows when each flower is blossomed in this campus. That is the involvement she has in the affairs of the campus. That is why our work, our burden has been lessened. I thank sir for your gracious presence. And with me, I have my respected Dean Academics, Professor Maishi. Sir, I welcome you. I have another coordinator of this program, Professor Mani, senior, tough guy, difficult to manage. Last but not the least, the competitors. I mean, one thing I always tell, you should compete. You have to excel. 1 or 2 defeats should not deter you. And you have to just go forward. And I wish, and I always tell my students, See, whenever my students go out of the college, I have, Sir Chairman, I have a unique mechanism. They choose one team, every time they send the same team, and every time they win. I tell Professor Mani, who coordinates the students when we send out, every time we send different batch of students. Why? Because in every event and every failure has to be a stepping stone for our success. And I wish whether you win or lose, not a matter, but what experience you gain here is most important to you. I wish this a successful event. Believe me, we have successfully done for last 3 years. We continue to do, and what come in our way. I wish this program very successful, and thanks for the coordinators for giving me an opportunity and delivering the welcome address. Thank you.
Now I request Professor Lasmani to introduce the chief guest to the audience.
Really done the job. Nevertheless, I'll try to be slightly different. See, there has been a misconception in the minds of people that spirituality and age are positively correlated. In fact, I have realized it very, very late perhaps that it is not so. So, and a person of this eminence and caliber, I am sure the words of wisdom that he is going to share with you all today, even if you all take at least about a few, 1% or 2% of what he talks and then try to imbibe in your daily life, it's going to be a great thing. So spirituality and religion are different. Spirituality, what Sir is going to talk, and how can the youngsters mold themselves and what they need to do. There are very, very simple things. I'm sure he is a better man to talk to you on this. Nevertheless, as he said, is coming from an engineering background, doing his electronics and communication engineering from Mysore in 1988. He received the Sannyasa Diksha in the year 1993. He is the president of the Ramakrishna Ashram Tumkur. He has travelled very, very widely, has been to almost all countries in Europe like Spain, France, Italy, Austria, then also to South Korea, Singapore and all that. He participated in the 4th World Parliament of Religions held in Barcelona, Spain in the year 2004. In the year 2006, he was the chief guest at the Italian National Cultural Festival organized by the government of Italy. In 2011, he has received an honorary doctorate from the University of Tumkur. In the year 2007, he received a very nice award known as Ambassador for Peace from the Universal Peace Foundation, USA. He, as our director said, he speaks regularly and all that. And today he is going to be here with us. And he has also been conducting a lot of workshops for teachers. So, depending on his time and other things, we would certainly look forward to his coming again on some other day, leisurely, and everything, all of us, the teachers also. So, with this very, very brief, as he told me, I don't want to go beyond that. But the fact is that we are very, very fortunate to have him with us here. And let us all take advantage of the words of wisdom that he is going to share with us today. Please, sir.
Om Pavitram Charitam Yasya Pavitram Jivanam Tatha Pavitrata Swarupinye Tasyai Gurmo Namo Namaha. Salutations at the holy feet of Divine Almighty. I am very happy to inaugurate Abbs-Bizomania, the national seminar today here with this Acharya Institute. I was invited by the management of Engineering College twice in connection with the graduation day and all. I was on the occasion of the valedictory function for the Polytechnic students of Acharya of Management in India. And today I feel I am honored to be in your midst to inaugurate this management conference. Dignitaries of the dais, Dr. Vijay Reddy, eminent management people, Dr. Venkatesh, Dr. Mohanty, Dr. Mahesh, and an elderly personality, a man of knowledge and wisdom, Dr. Mani, and respected sister Punita, and my special thanks to the two girls who did the invocation wonderfully. It was a very nice invocation today here, and all my young friends. It is needless to say that I have to concentrate more on human values. How to make the human a better human being. You have plenty of things to study. It is very much lacking in today's society, especially among the youth, is we need building our personality. Personality doesn't mean only beauty with respect to your physical body. Personality has got moral and then spiritual. And the truth is, any person in the truest sense, if he is spiritual, that means to say he has acquired. Don't call a man a spiritual if he is very physically weak. Don't call a man spiritual if he is too much intelligent. Mere intelligence will not count. Anybody can become intelligent, but intelligent merely is not spirituality. Moral and ethical values that are very much required for any human being to achieve successfully, to have the development in toto. That is very important. And we have come across the words of people of wisdom who say the history is not created by selfish majority, rather it is created by unselfish creative minority. Take the history of any country for that matter in the world. People of great degree of sacrifice, people of great service, they will be renowned, they will be revered and respected, and they make the front lines of the history of a particular country. You may have very big emperors who did ruling for several decades in the history of the world, but you don't find their photographs in your puja graha. In your worship room, you find only the photographs of those people who really renounced for humanity, who strived their heart, who sacrificed everything for the betterment of human society at large. Perhaps keeping that in mind, this statement has been made by people of wisdom, that history, the history of any country, you may have quite a good number of well-wishers in the society, but mind you, you must have that great thirst, urge for coming up in life. That is what Shri Krishna referred to as Uddhared Atmanatmanam in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is an excellent management subject. Very unfortunately, it is very much needed in Indian society to first clarify the doubts about Bhagavad Gita. I was in Italy. I addressed in Turin and Genova universities. I met the directors of Indology department who are Westerners. I was surprised to see the big photographs of Shankaracharya and Ramana Maharshi in the departments. I asked them, what is the need of these two people, photographs of these two people in your department? With a smile on their face, they said, without these two, how can I imagine India? This is not the words of Veereshananda, the guest of today's subject. These are the words of the heads of Indology department of European University. And on another occasion, one of my brother monks, a very learned man of India to science and modern thinking, here and there he used to support the Indian philosophers by quoting the great words of the Westerners. Immediately one professor stood up and said, Swami, we believe what Indian philosophers have said. We know how shallow they are. You say what India says, that is enough for us. We believe Indian philosophy. See, that is the mentality of the Westerners. This country has contributed its might for every field. If you take the history, I will give you one small example. This is a historical fact. Any American will obey with me, my statement. He will agree with me. American history is not 2000 years old, and European history is not 3000 years old. Little less. When Swami Vivekananda was speaking on the subject Bhagavan Buddha in London, way back to 1895, one professor questioned Swamiji. You said Buddha was so great, why he did not come to England for preaching? Vivekananda answered his question, when Buddha was alive, where was England then? My young friends, you must listen to this. I am not merely teaching philosophy for you. I am a science graduate. I know what electronics and communication is. I know satellite communication. I know radar. I know television engineering. I know so many subjects connected with the latest computer languages also. But my purpose of mentioning these important items, the aspects is, Swamiji said, when Buddha was alive, where was England then? You are still monkeys on the branches of trees. You have not evolved to the stage of human beings. That is true with respect to the records of evolution. Buddha was there 2600 years back. There was no human evolution at that time in England or Europe. When India had reached the zenith of civilization, Europe was still at the cradle level. This thing about Badukalu Kalini and another Devaru by Dr. A.N. Murtirao. I have read Patragalu Chitranudu of A.N. Murtirao, another good book. A.N. Murtirao was a student of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who was then the President of India. He was a professor in Mysore University for some time, then went to Calcutta as professor. Badukalu Kalini is a very popular book. It has been translated into 6 Indian languages. More than 6 lakh copies till now has been published. This is the icon for our use. The word Vivekananda and youth, they seems to be synonyms, two faces of the same coin. Swami Vivekananda says, society is nothing but an aggregate of individuals. Man is a social animal. We all know how man has been projected in human history. If you study how the Westerners have studied man, Aristotle says man is a social animal. Toffler says man is an animal capable of producing machines. It is India, the philosophers of this great country, who said, life is a struggle. It is a continuous struggle. Please don't be under the impression that if you solve one problem at a particular stage of life, don't think that you have escaped from the problems and no more problems in future days. If you that will come in your future life. Here, Swamiji is very particular about energizing and motivating the youth. If you go through his literature, very frequently you hear that, especially the Western aspects, they feel as if it is civilized. Very unfortunately, you don't know. A place like Barcelona assembled for my morning classes between 5:45 and 6:45. I was teaching Lalita Sahasranam. I was teaching them how to chant the mantras. And you should know, the temple to participate in such programs even with plus 15 or 16 in Bangalore. If I don't present these things with you, whatever you see in the television or the media, you feel they are very happy. But do you know how difficult it is to manage our own selves? Gita will teach you that. If you can manage your own self, in your examination papers. The subject what I am teaching to you just now is your behavioral attitude even in the examination hall. That is not in your syllabus. And very unfortunately, we lack so many things in our syllabus which is very important in our day-to-day life than passing the examinations. Martin Luther, another thinker, he says, the prosperity of any country depends not on the abundance of its revenues, the number of its cultivated citizens in its and character. Cultivated citizens with enlightenment, education and character. Education for character, that should be our motto. Not education for 3 meals. Even a slave will get that. Even a man imprisoned will get that. Anybody can get food. That is not a problem. Don't confine education just to have higher salary. Or keeping these things in your mind, I want to very briefly I want to mention about the integration of our personality. You must fix your aim of life. Without a lasting goal, there cannot be an enduring foundation for personality. Without values in life is more dead than alive. No doubt all of a sudden you cannot achieve something that is great in life. It is a systematic, slow but steady, that is very important. Trifles make perfection, but perfection is not trifle. Every growth is a change. Long way to go. That is the usual, that is the regular process. You are expected to respect that. You can't skip that. The only goal which can satisfy us forever is the goal of leading a pure, moral and ethical life and reach the real core of our being. Self-control. That age has gone. That is only after 10 years of age. Now, goals in life. Goal is important, but means are more important than goals. You have come across so many examples in the history where people had great goals, but they could not succeed because the path they followed was not perfect. Means are more important than ends. You should know that. Swami Vivekananda says, our greatest defect, some unwanted thoughts of tomorrow, today is lost. To live in the present is to save time. Keep vigilance. That's what Swami Vivekananda says. What is this? Security vigilance is there, military vigilance is there, so on and so forth. Constant vigilance is the price of noble work. Even though generally we refer to vigilance as an association with events and things extra. They allow me to bat for at least 2 hours. They don't have any time. They did so. He has a clearly defined philosophy and goal in life and is rational in his thoughts. That is the output of personality. he has sufficient self-control and is willing to sacrifice self-interest in order to reach his goal. That is most important for our youngsters. You have so many options in your life. You have so many desires. Dr. APJ says, it is worth mentioning his words in Dr. APJ Kalam Seminar Hall. Dr. APJ says, he who has strength to understand their dreams will conquer his future. Everybody will have dreams, but a few will get their dreams realized. Be aware of that. It's important among youngsters. You have so much of frustration. Many times you feel you are helpless. I think in another 1 decade, many more NIMHANS hospital units may change. So, counseling might become doctor. Finally, the child will become a patient. Very unfortunate. You make the child to read better. Let the child enjoy.